I rejected a guy thinking he'd chase me. He didn't, and now he's everything I ever wanted while I'm left watching from the sidelines. You ever meet someone who's too nice? Like genuinely nice? The kind that makes you suspicious? That was Rishi. We met in college, second year, same elective class. I was the girl, I won't lie. Confident, outspoken, always surrounded by people. Rishi was the quiet type, the guy who always helped the professor set up the projector, who stayed behind to collect everyone's assignments and never missed class. People called him a nice guy, the kind who carried extra pens and smiled at everyone. I wasn't into nice guys, but he was persistent in his own way. Subtle things, remembering how I took my coffee, helping me carry my books when it rained, texting good luck before every exam. Never creepy, never overbearing. Always kind. One time, I had a terrible day, failed a quiz, fought with my best friend, and lost my wallet. Rishi noticed immediately. He didn't ask questions, just quietly bought me a chocolate muffin from the cafeteria and said, "I hope tomorrow is better." I should have been touched. I was, but instead of appreciating him, I saw it as a game. See, I was used to attention. Used to guys chasing me, bending over backward to get my number. And I started to think, what if I reject him a little? Just to see if he wants me that bad. Immature, yes. But in my head, it was a harmless test. So when he finally asked me out, nervous, eyes wide, holding 2 movie tickets, I smiled sweetly and said, "I'm not looking to date anyone right now." He looked crushed. For a second. Then, to my surprise, he just nodded and said, "Okay, thanks for being honest." I waited. I expected texts, calls, him trying again the next week. That's how it usually went. But Rishi, he didn't chase. He stopped texting. He still nodded politely when we crossed paths, but never tried to start a conversation. He became invisible. And suddenly I hated it. A week passed. Then 2. I started feeling like a piece of me was missing. The muffins, the quiet support, the soft presence of someone who genuinely cared. I told myself I missed the attention, not him. But it got worse. I'd see him in the library laughing with another girl, Priya, who was smart, sweet, and honestly better than me in every way. He'd never laughed like that with me. It made my stomach twist. I tried reaching out. A casual, "Hey, how are you?" text. No reply. Not even a scene mark. I texted again a few days later, adding, "I miss talking to you." Nothing. By now I was spiraling. One night, I saw him at a college fest. He looked good. Not just clean shirt, good, but moved on and glowing good. Priya was next to him, holding his hand. I froze. And here's where karma started to sharpen its claws. That night, my roommate, who knew I'd rejected Rishi, told me something. Apparently, he got an internship at a big tech company. Not just any internship, one of those rare ones with a 6-figure stipend and a pre-placement offer. People were suddenly noticing him. My friends started mentioning his name more. He was rising, and I'd let him go like he was nothing. Meanwhile, my popular friend group? Fading. 2 of them dropped out. Another stabbed me in the back during a club event. I was watching my little kingdom crumble while the guy I dismissed was building an empire, quietly, gracefully, without me. And the worst part, he never looked back. The days that followed felt surreal, like I was the one left behind in a race I didn't even know I was running. Rishi became someone else. Or maybe he had always been that person, and I just hadn't bothered to see it. Now everyone else was noticing what I'd ignored. Suddenly, he was invited to speak at tech meetups. He co-founded a student startup with some seniors, and their idea was even featured on LinkedIn. Professors started mentioning him in class as an example of balance and brilliance. And Priya, she was right by his side through it all. They didn't do PDA or anything dramatic. But the way he looked at her, the warmth in his eyes, it was the kind of look I used to crave. The kind I thought I'd get if I just played the game right. But games don't work on people who've outgrown them. I remember the moment that broke me a little. It was during a group presentation in class. Rishi and I were assigned the same team. It should have been awkward. I expected it to be. Instead, he treated me like a colleague. Cold. No. Just professional. Friendly, even, but with boundaries. He spoke to me like I was just another face in the room. And that hurt more than any argument could have. After the presentation, I mustered up the courage to walk up to him. My heart thudded in my chest as I said, "Hey, can we talk?" He looked at me with that same neutral, polite expression. "About the project?" he asked. "No, about us. About before." He was quiet for a moment. Then, with a slight nod, he said, "Okay." We walked to the side of the hallway, away from the crowd. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry," I began, "for how I treated you." You didn't deserve that. He smiled, a soft, sad kind of smile. It's okay. You were honest. I respect that. No, I said quickly. I wasn't honest. I did like you. I thought if I played hard to get, you'd chase me. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. His expression didn't change much. I don't chase people who don't want me. It's not pride. It's peace. That hit me like a truck. I thought, maybe we could try again, I said hesitantly. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said the words I'll never forget. I'm with someone who didn't need to test my worth to see it. I'm happy now. I nodded, trying to smile. I'm glad you're happy. And I meant it. But it still burned. Because I realized, in that moment, karma wasn't about revenge. It was about watching someone blossom without you while you sit in the ruins of your own decisions. Over the next few weeks, I tried to move on. I focused on academics, tried making new friends. But something had shifted inside me. For the first time in years, I wasn't the one being chased. I was the one left behind. People around me started comparing. You and Rishi used to talk, right? Man, you missed out. Did you see the startup he's working on? It was like a constant echo of what could have been. And every time I smiled and said, yeah, he's doing great, I died a little inside. But the universe wasn't done rubbing it in just yet. By the time final semester came around, I had managed to put on a decent mask. On the outside, I looked fine. Active in college events, decent grades, the usual Instagram filters masking any cracks. But inside, I was hollow. Rishi. He was thriving. His startup had secured seed funding. Yes, actual investors. He got featured in a local magazine as one of the top 10 student entrepreneurs to watch. His LinkedIn blew up. And Priya, she was still with him, standing strong, always supportive. They were the power couple now, grounded, low-key, and wildly admired. Meanwhile, I had drifted from my old friend group. Turns out popularity fades fast when you're not the trend anymore. My closest friend started dating the guy I was casually seeing. I didn't even fight her over it. I just let it go. Nothing felt worth it anymore. Then came the convocation. I saw Rishi across the lawn, surrounded by a group of juniors and professors congratulating him. He looked confident, not arrogant, just self-assured in a way that stung to witness. There was something so peaceful about him now, like he had zero regrets. And that's when karma delivered its final punch. The chief guest, a high-level exec from a top tech firm, gave a speech. Then he announced a surprise. We're offering a direct job offer to a student whose profile truly impressed us. Guess whose name was called? Rishi Varma. Applause thundered around the auditorium. Priya hugged him tight. I clapped too, mechanically, heart aching with every beat of my hands. Later, I found myself sitting alone on a bench behind the building. I didn't cry. I just sat still, staring at the cracked cement beneath my feet, thinking of how foolish I had been. Not foolish for rejecting someone. That's every person's right. But for assuming he'd wait, for treating his kindness like a tool I could manipulate, for thinking that people who care deeply are weak. That was the lesson karma wanted me to learn. And boy, did it teach me well. A week after convocation, I bumped into him at a coffee shop. He was with Priya again. We exchanged brief smiles. She gave me a soft nod, the kind that somehow didn't feel smug, just kind. As I walked out, Rishi paused and looked back at me. Take care, Mira, he said genuinely. No sarcasm. No bitterness. Just closure. I nodded. You too. That was the last time I saw him. Today, a year later, I sometimes come across his startup's updates on social media. They're doing well. Expanding. Hiring. Building. Living. And me. I'm still finding my ground. I've grown. Slowly. Learned to treat people better. To value sincerity. I'm not chasing anyone. I'm chasing myself. Trying to become someone I'd be proud of. But sometimes, late at night, when everything's quiet and the world isn't watching, I replay our moments in my head. The way he once looked at me like I mattered. And the way I threw it away like it was guaranteed. That's the thing about karma. It doesn't always show up with revenge. Sometimes, it just walks away with the person you thought would never leave. And lets you realize when it's far too late, that you were the one who needed them most. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.